Hi there everybody, this is MegaTrain. In this video I'm going to be showing you guys a couple of different display cases that I've worked out. This one is kind of my design. I'm going to be showing you another one that is mostly an adaptation of someone else's design. But I got the idea for this watching a Mindcrack video. Doc M77 was making a shop in the Mindcrack town center. And he had this really cool item elevator that sucked a diamond axe up through the ceiling and then recycled it back underneath the ground. And it looked really cool, but it went by pretty fast. So I did some work and did some testing, and I worked out a display case that I think works really good. Again, for a storefront, a museum, display in your home of some valuable item. It would work really well. So right now I've actually got the timer set pretty quickly. In a normal environment you'd probably have to have the timer set to 4.5 minutes, so just that it recycled right before the item despawned. And as you can see, I'm actually recycling multiple different items. You could just have two of the same item in the system, and it would just push, it would just come back up the same every time. So I'm going to be showing you guys this design and also a second design over here. Let's go take a look at that one. Alright, the impact of this design is pretty similar. You've got floating items here and there's an automatic recycling process. The mechanism is pretty simple though. You can actually see the droppers here behind. They're covered up with an item frame. This particular design I got from a YouTuber named Muskatard, and we've got little gray carpets down here. And as you can probably imagine, what's really going on behind the scenes is that we've got a hopper there and a couple of droppers. So the hopper is powered. When the hopper gets depowered, the item gets sucked into the bottom dropper, and then we need to have a signal that triggers both those droppers to shoot the item back out. So the original design that I saw by Muskatard was a single item, and it had a pretty complex kind of local mechanism. Pretty compact. I've got a link to his video. Definitely recommend it. My adaptation here is that I'm basically putting them in a series. So all I have to do is run a timer in the beginning of the cycle. It's going to hit this bottom row first, and it's going to turn off all these torches. These torches are powering the hoppers. Let me hop down this way. There we go. These torches are powering the hoppers, so we need to turn those off first. There's a repeater in between each one of them. Oops. Put that back. And so it shoots a signal down there. There's a second signal with a little bit of a delay, and there's a repeater that goes into each of these stacks of droppers, and that actually powers both of them in sequence, so that works correctly to trigger the bottom one and then the top one. So I'm not going to do a block by block building. I think you guys can see the design here and what it does. I'm also not going to take a whole lot of time to really detail all the redstone. This is a pretty standard sethbling hopper timer. I've got it set pretty quickly just for the demonstration here. Off of the hopper timer, we've got, again, what's a pretty standard rising edge detector. So the only thing that's probably worth mentioning here is that I've actually got 3 repeaters here, each set to the third setting. That gives it a long enough pulse to fully depower the hoppers for those things to come all the way through. So this button doesn't necessarily need to be part of the design. Oops. I've actually just run a bead of redstone there, so it intersects the other portions of the redstone, and I can cycle it manually if I wanted to, in addition to the timer. So pretty nice. You can actually put items in those item frames. That does work. I've tested it. I think it's a little bit distracting. The other thing that you can do is you can put paintings back there. If there are any of the one-by-one paintings that seem to you like they will work. So that's one option. Let's go back over here. Let me show you how I have built my other display case. Okay, now as you can see, there are no visible dispensers here. So this is actually based on the item elevator that Doc used. And that was actually based on an item elevator created by Test137E29 is the username. So I've got that link in the notes as well. But basically we've got a little loop of blocks. We've got 2 fence posts in the middle there. And we've got ice underneath one. The other one cannot have ice underneath it. And then we've got 2 glass blocks to the side. Okay. We've got a full channel of 8 water, actually 7 plus 1 to the side. And that little turn here does matter. I'll show you why in just a second. Let me pull something out here and show you how this works. So it's going to slide down there, glitch a little bit. There we go. And it's going to get pushed up. So this technology has been around for a little while. What makes it work is basically the same reason you can put a block on another block and have an item float to the top. So I saw this design and it got me wondering if I could actually put hoppers in the middle here. And that, you may have already guessed, that's actually what I'm doing in my design. And it does actually work. The one thing that you do have to figure out is how to power that hopper. So to power that hopper, you've got to keep that item from being pulled into the hopper. And for that, I'm using this redstone here. So let me show you guys kind of how this thing works under the surface. On this side, I've got a very, very similar timer to how things worked on the other side. I've got just the standard hopper timer. The same rising edge sensor. I've just got a single repeater in the middle this time because we just need a single short pulse. And oops, I've actually got a spot here that I can put a button that in a very similar way just sends a signal and very momentarily turns off the hopper, or turns off this redstone, which allows the hopper to suck up the item. So I could press that and it'll pull down on its own. Okay, so I have my item elevator just like we showed you a second ago with my water channel here. The difference, of course, is I've got my hopper chain that comes back down and flows all the way back to this dropper in the corner. The only redstone that's triggered here is when the item flows back down through the hopper chain. It's going to trigger this comparator and send a new redstone signal to pop out a new item here that should go up and through. So it works pretty good. You could, of course, hook that into the timer signal if you wanted to. I've just hooked into the hopper chain. Seems to work pretty well. So a lot of options here for how you want this to look. Different carpet colors. You could change this top to all glass or all glowstone, or put it against a back wall. Anything you like. This recycle is totally optional. You can just let the timer circuit take care of that instead. So plenty of options. Anybody on Mindcrack or anything wants to make use of my design, that's totally awesome. I don't think that there's anybody else out there that I've found that have combined the hopper with the item elevator. So at least that I could locate. If you see anyone else, let me know. But hopefully that makes sense, and hopefully you can figure that out, even though this wasn't a block-by-block building tutorial. Hopefully that makes sense. And I hope that one of these designs will be of some use to you. So thank you for watching. Check out my Let's Play. I've been doing some ocean block and pancake survival Let's Plays. I'd appreciate you checking those out. So thanks for watching. We'll talk to you later.